You've been told all your life to become your best self, set goals, hustle, optimize, perfect. Yet late at night, when the apps go quiet and the room darkens, you can feel it. A restlessness like you're chasing a horizon that keeps walking away. You reach a milestone, you feel a hit of relief, and then, without a sound, the line moves. What if the version of you you're trying to become is blocking the one that's already here? Tonight, let's walk into that paradox together. We'll weave psychology with spirituality, attachment theory with Zen koans, neuroscience with non-duality, and explore why the thing you're trying to force is the very thing that shows up when you soften. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Horizon of When. Notice how often you whisper promises to yourself. When I get the promotion, then I'll relax. When I meet the right person, then I'll feel whole. When the bank account hits that number, then I'll ease up. Psychology calls this the hedonic treadmill, the quiet way our mind resets its baseline the moment we arrive. Spiritually, it's the same dream in another costume. Salvation as a future event, peace as a far-off destination. The problem isn't your desire, it's the hidden contract beneath it. I am not okay until. Feel your shoulders for a moment. Sense the subtle negotiation happening in the body, here, but not quite allowed to be here. The nervous system hears that contract and tenses. It makes your present life a waiting room. What if the door was unlocked, and you were the one holding it closed? Chapter 2. The Mask of Self-Improvement. Carl Jung spoke of the persona, the mask we wear to meet the world. It's useful, even necessary, but a mask becomes a prison the moment we mistake it for our face. Self-improvement can turn into a socially sanctioned disguise. If I polish hard enough, I'll be worthy. The paradox is heartbreaking. The more you try to become lovable, the more you confirm the belief that you are not. Wisdom traditions offer a different verb. Not become, but uncover. Not build, but remember. What if you were not a problem to solve, but a garden to tend? What if your task is less about rearranging the furniture of your character and more about opening the windows? Ask yourself quietly, what if the self I'm constructing is standing in the doorway of the self that's trying to breathe? Chapter 3. The nervous system is a philosopher. We often imagine that our thoughts drive the show, but the body writes the mood. A nervous system on high alert turns the ordinary into emergencies. An anxious system scans for absence and calls it destiny. An avoidance system numbs and calls it independence. A disorganized system oscillates and calls it fate. Attachment patterns don't just shape our relationships, they craft a worldview. Love is scarce, closeness is dangerous, life is chaos. This is why spiritual practice without nervous system care can drift into spiritual bypassing. Pretty words floating above a clenched body. And psychology without mystery can become sterile, techniques without reverence. There's a bridge between them. It's regulation. Chapter 4. Suffering as an echo of resistance. Buddhism begins with something simple and unsentimental. There is dukkha, unease, friction. Not because pain exists, but because of our relationship to it. We grasp at what fades and push away what has already arrived. Cognitive therapy agrees. Suffering multiplies when we add the thought, this should not be happening. The spiritual pivot isn't resignation, it's intimacy. This is here. It sounds small, even passive, but genuine contact is a doorway. When you stop arguing with what's present, you free up the attention needed to respond. Your life stops being a courtroom and becomes a conversation. Try this in the privacy of your own chest. Let it be as it is, until it shows you what it's for. Chapter 5. The Koan of Control. The ego loves control because control feels like safety. But control is brittle. It shatters under the first unexpected gust. Living systems thrive not through rigidity, but through responsiveness. A river doesn't argue with rocks, it curves. Musicians in the pocket don't cling to a plan. They listen, they respond, they discover. Call it surrender if you like. Call it cognitive flexibility. call it improvisation. The wise simply call it life. Ask yourself, where am I pushing a river? Where could I curve? You do not need to abandon intention. You're invited to loosen your grip on outcomes so your hands are free enough to catch what actually arrives. Chapter 6. Identity as a story told in first person. Neuroscience suggests the self is, at least in part, a narrative function, different brain networks stitching a coherent story out of scattered experience. It's helpful. It lets you find your keys and remember your name. But the story is editable. Sit still for a moment and observe. Sensations arise and pass. Noisy, subtle, neutral. Thoughts flicker. Some persuasive, some absurd. The motions crest and dissolve. None of them carry an identity card that says I until the mind tags them. In meditation, you learn to see the seams. In non-dual teachings, you taste something stranger and simpler. The awareness of experience is not itself an experience. It's the open sky in which weather happens. For half a minute, let everything be as it is. The sound in the room, the breath moving, the temperature on your skin. Ask quietly, am I the storm or the sky that allows it? Chapter 7. The Art of Allowing. Acceptance is often misunderstood as agreement. It isn't. Acceptance is contact. In therapy, what we can feel, we can heal. What we exile, we repeat. In spiritual language, allowing is a form of devotion, saying yes to what already is, not because you prefer it, but because it's true. When we allow a feeling, we remove the second arrow, the resistance that turns pain into suffering. The grief you let yourself feel finishes its cycle. The fear you welcome loses its mask and becomes information. Try a simple ritual when a wave comes. Name it. This is shame. This is fear. Locate it. Tightness in my throat, heat in my face. Breathe into that place, gently, 3 times. And then bless it. You're allowed. You can be here. Watch how the wave changes shape when it's not treated as an intruder. Chapter 8. Desire, but make it clean. Desire is not the villain. Desire moves life forward, art, love, discovery. The trouble begins when desire hardens into clinging. Clean desire says, I would love this. Dirty desire says, I must have this or I am nothing. One keeps dignity intact, the other mortgages your worth. This is the pivot. Want from wholeness, not for it. Ask yourself, what do I want if I already belong? It's a different nervous system posture. From this place, even ambition becomes a form of play, a serious, wholehearted play, but play nonetheless. You can reach with open hands. Chapter 9. The Middle Way of Effort. How do we act without grasping? Zen calls it effortless effort. Athletes call it flow. Therapists call it optimal arousal. The shape is consistent. Clear intention, present attention, soft grip. You prepare with sincerity. You show up fully. And you release the moment it passes. You don't collapse into indifference. You root in participation. Try it tomorrow. Choose one task, an email, a set, a run. Set a clean intention. What would good faith look like here? Enter with your senses on. Feel the keys. Hear the breath. Meet the moment. When it's done, place it down. Don't extract identity from the result. Let your mantra be, all in while it's here, all gone when it's gone. Chapter 10. Meeting the Shadow with Tea. Jung reminds us that what we don't own owns us. The shadow is not evil. It's exiled life. Unlived, unseen, inconvenient. Spiritually, what we call demons often turn out to be misunderstood guardians. Meet them and they teach. Reject them and they stalk. So when jealousy rises, when control tightens, when numbness spreads, try inviting the pattern to tea. Imagine it sitting across from you. Ask with genuine curiosity, what are you protecting? What do you need to relax? Then listen with your whole body. Sometimes the answer is startlingly simple. Rest, reassurance, a boundary, some truth. The monster at the gate often turns out to be a tired sentinel asking to be relieved. Chapter 11. Belonging before behavior. Attachment science is blunt. We change best inside safety. Shame locks the nervous system. Compassion unlocks it. Spiritual traditions echo this with different language. Grace precedes growth. You are not loved because you are good. You become good because you are loved. In that order. So practice belonging first. Offer yourself the tone you long for. Nothing to prove here. Seek out people who can co-regulate, who can sit with your storm without making it about their umbrella. Let your spirituality be tactile. Warmth in the chest. Steadiness in the breath. A friendliness toward your own presence. From belonging, behavior changes with less drama and more durability. Chapter 12. The practice you can do anywhere. Here's a 5-minute daily practice, a bridge between psyche and spirit. Sit. Feel the seat under you, the feet, the breath, and whisper, "I'm here." Name 3 truths: an emotion, a thought, a sensation. Sadness, planning, buzzing in my hands. Breathe into the tightest place without trying to fix it. Then, name 1 clean intention for the day. May I offer clarity. May I be kind. Finally, place a hand on your heart and say, "I will meet life, and I will let life meet me." Do this before the world makes requests of you. It won't erase your problems. It will change the way you meet them. Chapter 13. Work, love, and the sacred ordinary. Bring this practice into the ordinary. Answer one message as if someone's nervous system will feel your tone, because it will. Listen to a loved one 1 minute longer than your habit. Attend to small tasks like their small altars. The sacred hides in repetition. Psychology calls it skill building. Spirituality calls it devotion. The ordinary is where God forgot to disguise himself. Try washing 1 dish with full attention. The warmth of the water, the weight of the bowl, the light on the surface. Let it be a prayer you can touch. Chapter 14. Failure as initiation. The psyche often equates failure with exile, but every myth worth its salt knows better. The fall is how we find the ground. When plans fail, images crack, and something more sincere can breathe. In psychology, failure is data, humility, direction. Spiritually, it's a doorway from performance to presence. If you're in the ashes of something right now, offer yourself this blessing. You may hurt. You may rest. You're still included. Ask in your journal, what did failure take that I didn't need? What did it give that I keep? You might be surprised by the inventory. Less pretense. More mercy. A clearer yes. Chapter 15. The quiet that remains. When the thoughts slow, something remains. Not an idea, not a mood. An aware, simple presence. It was here when you were a child, staring at dust in a sunbeam. It is here now as you listen. It will be here when your plans dissolve and reform. You don't manufacture it. You notice it. You can't break it. You can only overlook it. Every practice is a way of remembering. This is the heart of the paradox. You find yourself not by building a superior someone, but by relaxing the one who is trying so hard. The sky does not need to lasso its weather. It simply allows. And in that allowing, everything changes. You are the sky, learning to love its weather. If you can, close your eyes. Feel the body being breathed. On the next inhale, gather gently all your striving. On the exhale, let the body grow heavy. Whisper inside. Nothing to fix, nothing to chase, nothing to hide. Bring to mind one person you love. Offer them the wish. May you feel safe in your own life. May you remember who you are. Now offer it to yourself, without conditions. When you open your eyes, take one thing with you: the soft grip. Move into your day with clean desire, warm attention, and a willingness to be surprised. The horizon doesn't need chasing. Walk, and notice, somehow, it walks with you. If this met you where you are, share it with someone still wrestling the river. If you want more explorations at the place where psyche meets spirit, you know where to find me. Be well.